when people talk about the worst case scenario, there is another scenario, which is a catastrophic scenario where we have not put any measures in place to try and slow down the curve, to try to slow down the rate of transmission. I think just maybe the acquiring or building more infrastructure, hospitals and clinics, and also in terms of employing more doctors, nurses, and all other categories of healthcare workers. We talk about a triangle in Gauteng. The triangle that starts from OR Tambo up to midstream Centurion area, coming back to Senton, and then going towards Bedford View, and then Kempton Park, which is where the airport is. So that's where it is. But because of the nature of how the disease came into the country, you'd find that it's people that are highly mobile, middle class largely, and largely white, and that's how now, because we have closed the borders, you find that now we are not reporting huge numbers. So you see the curve start slowing down and almost plateauing. The first cases that we had in South Africa were cases of people who have traveled to Europe, and so it was an imported infection into the country, and I think we tried by all means to try and contain it within that particular group, but more and more people came into the country, and more tourists came in, and the other people who have been outside came in. And with those numbers, then we started to have individuals who have not traveled, but we exposed to them. So that's what, when we describe community acquired, that's what it is. Okay, because we are in emergency, we would want to get into the most primitive technology, but I think there is enough ventilating machines. And in any other point, we have also discovered ventilators that we bought and that were never commissioned. So you would realize that the equipment is a global issue in terms of shortage, and our economy, it's mainly dependent on importing a lot of the stuff. And we just need to build the capacity internally to try and produce locally and empower those companies that are actually in that space, and to produce more of that equipment. There's one important aspect that we need to include in terms of ramping up testing. Is just to have rapid test kits. Because if you want to ramp up everything, it means we must have a process that is less labor intensive, less technical in terms of doing, and cheaper. Okay, maybe if you add another aspect, it must be acceptable to everybody, because now you find when you have to do a nasopharyngeal swab, I have to also convince you and also say, it's not going to hurt. It's just a bit irritation through the nose. So it's just through the nose, So technically, it also requires people with a special technique and to be taught.